Hey, what's up, guys? It's Rami Robbie back with another video. Let's get into it. Switch 2 era of Nintendo has started off, I would say, moderately strong. I am excited that two of my favorite underrated games got sequels, that being Tomodachi Life and Fantasy Life. To be fair, I feel like Tomodachi Life is one of those games that everyone says is underrated, but at this point, so many people say it's underrated that it is not really underrated, if that makes sense. Anyways, I haven't played either of them. Well, I haven't played the demo for Tomodachi Life, and I have not played Fantasy Life I. But the fact that they were even created is a pretty good omen to me. Um, and now before the big Nintendo Direct this year, which people thought was going to happen this month, last month, etc., and now leaks saying sometime in the summer, possibly. Anyways, I wanted to make a wish list for some games that I hope that we see. Um, to be honest, most of these games are really unlikely to be announced within the next 10 years. Some of them I doubt will ever be created. Um, but for each of the games, I'm going to say today, I'm going to give a rating out of 10 for how likely I think it is to be released as a Switch 2 game. Okay, so let's get started. So these are some new games. I'm going to be talking about some new games that I want, and then some like games that are coming out or that are already out, like some things I wish for them, and then just some features for the Switch 2 itself. So, one of my favorite series in the recent Nintendo history is the Donkey Kong Country Returns duology. I think Tropical Freeze is one of the very few highlights of the Wii U, and I think it really almost perfected the formula from the original Donkey Kong Returns. And now that Metroid Prime 4 has finally released, I would love if Retro Studios focused their efforts on a third entry in the series. Um, do I think it's going to happen? No, probably like a 2 out of 10, considering Bonanza just released and even had some like callback 2D levels. And for the record, I love Bonanza. I think it's the best game on the Switch too thus far that I've played. But I personally think there's room for more Donkey Kong on the lineup. In a similar vein to the underrated 3DS games discussed earlier, I think Kid Icarus Uprising sequel would be amazing. Having the series return on handheld capable system would be perfect, and I think they could really iron out the kinks from the original 3DS game. It would be pretty nice if we got a remaster of Uprising so more people can experience the game, and then that would allow the whole Kid Icarus franchise to be playable on Switch 2, since the original two are in the Switch Online catalog. And I honestly think Kid Icarus 2, Uprising 2 has a okay chance of being released. I'd go like 5 out of 10. Um, I just think it'd be a perfect fit for the Switch, and they could really like fix those control issues, those hand cramp issues with the first one. That was like the bane. I think that made it was probably like a 9 out of 10 game. I think that dropped it to like an 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I think it's one of the best games on the 3DS. Recently, I beat Luigi's Mansion 1 and 2 for the first time, and I enjoyed them both a lot. I've just started the third game, but I'm excited to dive in because I've heard it's very good, and I'm excited to see that it's like more open world, like the first one. Like it's more Resident Evil style instead of the second one where it was the levels, which was kind of turned me off a little bit. I'm pretty sure everyone knows, like everyone's certain that Luigi's Mansion 4 will be released for the Switch 2, considering the sales of Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Switch 1. So I would honestly say it's like 75. Well, I was gonna say 75% chance it'll be released by the end of the year, but there have been leaks that say like there might be other stuff coming at the end of the year. So I would say 75% by the end of 2027. Or yeah, so I would say 10 out of 10 chance it's coming in the Switch 2 generation. My hopes for the next Mario games might be controversial, but for me, it would be a dream come true if the next single player Mario game was a Mario Galaxy 3, and when the next multiplayer game was Mario 3D World 2, which I know is really like kind of a hot take. I personally like the more linear Mario games over the collectathon ones, but unfortunately for me, due to the reception of Odyssey, I don't see Nintendo reverting back to the, the linear style. Except Bonanza did just come out, which was a collectathon. So maybe they'll be like, we should focus more on linear games. But I kind of doubt it because they're kind of everything is open world buzz now. I could see them doing a collectathon style space themed Mario with the upcoming release of I guess now the release of the Galaxy movie, which another hot take I actually enjoyed. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but for the next multiplayer Mario game, which I don't think will be for a while, considering the Wonder DLC that came out like last month or this month. I want a 3D multiplayer Mario game. I honestly really like Mario 3D World. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about it, but it was so much fun playing it with my girlfriend. and then like the challenge levels and the Plessy levels and the power ups. I don't know. I thought it was a really great time. And okay, chances for a linear single player Galaxy sequel in this generation, I would give like a 2 out of 10. Strictly linear. And then 3D World sequel, I'd honestly say it has higher chance than a linear single player game. I'm gonna go 3 out of 10. I don't think either of them are likely though. Nintendo would be pretty stupid. They have been pretty stupid in the past though. If they didn't release a new Animal Crossing game this generation, considering the incredible success of New Horizons. Um, I was pretty certain this was going to happen, but then New Horizons got that update, so I'm kind of a little concerned. And if you're watching this video, if you're a Nintendo fan, etc., you've probably heard the New Horizons complaints like 100 million thousand times. Back in my day, and to be fair, I agree, but I'm not gonna like recite those takes. I would say that they already have the models and the engine, right? Can't be that hard to add some stuff people want, like better villagers, first of all, more shops, and then personally for me, I would like more or less focus on decoration. I'm gonna say it's like a 7 out of 10. A new Animal Crossing game comes out this generation. I I originally thought it was higher, but then that update kind of scared me for New Horizons. Another possibly hot take, which I'm surprised is a hot take, but I can kind of understand. I am a devoted advocate of the shit, the Nintendo Kart Dream. Yeah, yeah, haters, I hear you. It makes Smash Bros less special, blah, blah, whatever. I don't care. I don't want fucking Baby Peach, bro. I want to play as Pit or Meta Knight. And I'm maybe gonna make a future video about some ideas for this, so I'm not gonna go too deep into it. And chance it comes out this gen, like literally 0% chance that it comes out this gen, considering Mario Kart World. And I don't even know if they'll ever do this idea. Um, yeah, there's probably a ton of videos about like this kind of idea, but I'll maybe make a video on it. Another spicy take incoming from Ramby Robbie here. I honestly am not a huge fan of Smash Bros. Um, but that more so is just fighting games in general. I think they're kind of boring and repetitive. But we all love a Smash Bros. New character reveal announcement. And I really do think some characters need moveset and design changes like Mario, Mario Odyssey, maybe get some more power ups in there. Donkey Kong Bonanza, Samus, Metro Prime 4, a lot of other characters. I might make a different video about this, like the other one with some ideas. But to be honest, you should probably watch someone else that knows more about Smash Bros. Because I don't really know shit. But I'd say it's like a 5 out of 10 for likelihood this generation. They could also do like new character pack DLCs for Ultimate. Um, I'm not. I think people would like that. I'm not really sure how it would go over. Honestly, I think people would be mad that there's not going to be a new Smash Bros. If they started doing that. I'm not sure though. I think out of every game on this list, this one would get me the most excited if it were to be announced. And before writing the script, I searched some YouTube videos for other ideas on the topic to see if anyone else was like coping like me. And I did see a few. I have watched them, but I watched them after I wrote this. So um, we'll see what I wrote because I don't actually remember. But I'm excited. Yeah, I said I'm excited to watch them after I make this. Anyways, in my opinion, the best game released for the Wii U was Nintendo Land. This is another underrated game that's, like, so quote, unquote, "underrated" that everyone thinks it's underrated, so it's not really underrated, but they need to bring this series back, please, Nintendo. There are so many ideas you could do with this franchise. Like, they could, bring back some of the old games from the original one. They could add some new levels, like the Metroid one, bro, add some new levels. Like, make that shit like that was, like, the best game ever, bro. I love playing that with my family, it was so much fun. It could also just obviously add new games to replace some that wouldn't work on the gamepad. And honestly, most of the ones that worked on the gamepad, only with the gamepad, kind of sucked ass. And they could pretty easily add back all the games besides the Mario Chase one, the Luigi Mansion one, and then the Yoshi like egg hunt one. Which, to be fair, the Mario and Luigi ones were pretty good, but the Yoshi one kind of sucked. Those all rely pretty heavily on the gamepad, but they could include every game if they added an online feature to make those games playable. Because if you don't know, Nintendo Land, some of the games were like asymmetrical, or one person uses the gamepad and they use that screen to have information the other people didn't have. But if they did online, then everyone has their own screen kind of thing. So that could definitely work. I really hope they expand on the Zelda one and then the Metroid one, as I mentioned, because those are my favorites. And those are literally the only games my dad and my brother would play in the Wii U with me because they thought the Wii U was for little babies, which it was. But, it was fun playing together. They definitely need a Kirby game. Like, what are you doing? And they could take it from one of the Return to Dreamland mini games. They could just like upgrade one of those ones, like that one where you smash each other off the side in your little carts. I guess they have. Air Riders though. Anyways, they also need a Splatoon game, and I should make a separate video on this. I could just go on forever. But like I would give Nintendo my firstborn child for a Nintendo Land 2 or a Nintendo Land Deluxe or just something. But I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 10 chance that it happens. It will never happen, but that's fine. Okay. And this one, I was like, this is never gonna happen. But then recent leaks are changing the landscape here. Excited. In a similar vein to Nintendo Land, Nintendo needs to revive their Nintendo Sports IP after the flop that was Switch Sports, which I never played because I heard it was trash. You know the best way to do that? Switch Sports Resort, which I have been seeing a lot of videos about recently because everyone heard the leaks about a new Switch Sports game. They need to bring back Wuhu Island, first of all. They need to add back the original sports, and when need to add new sports, they can make it online compatible. You know, let me bike around Wuhu Island with my homies while I watch my other homies shoot each other out of the sky, causing their planes to crash into the sword fight arena where my other homies are fighting, kind of deal. You know, they can make it like a MMO or even just like a full Wuhu Island lobby. You can invite people to, or you can join random people online, and you could have like a 20, 30 person lobby of people on Wuhu Island all playing different sports, kind of thing. That would, I don't know how they do it, but it'd be so sick. Chance of a Switch Sports sequel, I said a 4 out of 10, but after hearing the leaks, we're gonna go with 8 out of 10. The 2 out of 10 being it could just be a Switch 2 edition of Switch Sports, which would kind of suck. I really hope they do Switch Sports Resort. It's like it's right there, Nintendo. Come on, please, man. Okay, this game is actually underrated though. Like I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this. I looked it up. I saw Peanut Butter Gamer, PBG, the goat. I hope he's still good. I haven't watched him in a while. I hope he didn't get canceled, but he was my goat when I was a kid. Anyways, my favorite game on the Wii was Wii Ski. And not Wii Ski and Snowboard. Screw that game. I'm talking the original Wii Ski. I have my opinions on that. You probably there's no, anyways. Skiing around an open world ski resort split screen with my younger brother are some of my favorite gaming memories. There's something so lonely yet relaxing and fun about the game. I love skiing around and finding the little NPCs that needed help with their stupid little problems, and there was like Yetis and shit hidden. The reason I don't like Wii Ski and Snowboard is because they took all the quest giving NPCs that were like spread across the mountain in the original one, and like you have to go find them, you have to ski around, and they have little bubbles where they have you go talk to them. In the I guess it's not really a sequel, but it's like in the revised edition of the game, they did add snowboarding with the Wii Fit pad thing, which was cool, the balance board, and they added like more locations. But the fact is that they like condensed all the NPCs, the quest giving NPCs that were spread across the whole resort and just moved them down to the bottom, which takes away all the fun of exploration. You just go down there and it's just like a list of missions you go through, which is so lame. The best part was skiing around finding people. I'm literally doing the skiing motion of Wii Ski right now. I'm so excited thinking about it. I don't know why they thought moving all the NPCs to the bottom was a gameplay improvement. Anyways, bring back Wii Ski, please. And I saw they released a spin-off called Go Vacation on the Switch or Switch 2. I have not played it, but I will play it and report back because I am actually very curious. And nothing can beat Wii Ski though. Okay, these next ones are just some rapid fire. Soul Silver HD 2D remake. That's all I'm gonna say. Actually, that's not all I'm gonna say. I think Square Enix has that like copyright trademark HD2D shit, so I don't even know if Nintendo can do that. But it will never happen because Nintendo sucks ass. Anyways, um, and now I'm gonna move on to my hopes for games that are already announced and slash released. First of all, they need to add new content to Mario Kart World. Like, what are you fucking doing, Nintendo? They're not gonna do Nintendo Kart, but they at least add tracks for Mario Wonder or DK Bonanza and new characters and costumes. Like, surely they're gonna add content at some point, right? Like, this is like a 9 out of 10. If they don't, I'm just like, this is I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, can't even imagine. I'm mad thinking about the fact that they're not gonna do it. Like, it just makes no sense. And then also Dusk Bloods, which I haven't heard anything about in a while. I don't even know if it got delayed or anything. But I personally am kind of as I said earlier with Mario, I'm more of like a linear game. Actually, that's not true. I like open world games. But for FromSoft, I like Dark Souls more than I like Elden Ring. I don't Elden Ring has so many duplicate bosses. I pretty much just don't want duplicate bosses for Duskbloods. I want more linear. I want like Dark Souls 2 kind of thing. Like mix of linear and open world, like linear but there's multiple paths. but not just an open world, if that makes sense. Which I doubt they'll do completely open world because the Switch would like tank running that probably. Yeah. Anyways, now for my non-game related Switch 2 wish list. I don't think they will ever do this. Actually, they might. Thinking about it, but adding DS and Wii to the classics connection, they're gonna say that for the the Switch 3. Um, but I don't think Wii U 3DS will ever happen. But DS and Wii maybe in like 15 years. They need to add that stuff though. Like, come on, you guys got this. You got this. They like the Wii is like pretty compatible with the Switch, right? It's pretty perfect. And like even the I guess the Wii U has the gamepad though. But like definitely the Wii, the DS and 3DS, they can cope and say, oh, the dual screen, it doesn't really work. But Wii, they can definitely do. Um, Also, we need better profile picture icon creation. We need more themes for the Switch. We need more backgrounds. We need homepage customization. Uh, they would be super sick if you could unlock them through like the achievements in specific games. I remember when I was a kid, the I think one of the Batman Arkham games, I think it's Batman Arkham Origins, had a Deathstroke boss fight, and after you beat him, you got a Deathstroke costume for your like Xbox 360 avatar, and I was like the coolest kid in school. And I want another kid to experience that with their Switch too. Like they beat like Void Kong, and then they could dress up as him, and their me dress up as him or something. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Um, and in my biggest dream that I don't think is really possible, I don't even know if they would like it doesn't really make sense. But I want them to bring back Street Pass in some form. Like, bringing my 3DS with me everywhere I went was like an integral part of my childhood. And it was so cool getting someone else's me, like I don't know. It was just so much fun. I mean, you send them off to die in battle against some bandits or whatever the Street Pass quest game thing was called. I don't even remember. It was like me find me quest or sword quest or something. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. That concludes my Switch 2 Nintendo wish list. Please let me know if you agree or disagree with any of the takes in the comments below or whatever. I will probably make more in-depth videos on some of the topics I discussed in the future. So don't steal my ideas, or I will sue you. That was a joke. I don't have that money or whatever you need to sue people. Anyways, goodbye, friends. Thanks for watching.